What's up, my friends? Welcome to Yoga with Mike. I am Mike, and today I have a full-length, total-body yoga flow for you to help connect you to your body and improve your strength and your flexibility. So be prepared to sweat a little bit in this class, but also get ready to flex your mindfulness muscles as well. When you're ready, hop on your mat, and let's get started. All right, my friends, let's meet in child's pose to start off. Knees come nice and wide, big toes come together, head drops down to the earth. Find some stillness here. Invite your breath to become a little deeper. Allow the mind to become a little quieter. Just connecting with a sense of groundedness here, starting to balance out whatever else has gone on in your day or whatever is to come ahead with a little bit of body awareness here, starting to notice how the body feels. Notice the quality of the mind today. And keeping in mind there's no right way to feel, there's no wrong way to feel. We're just starting to bring some awareness into the moment. From here, go ahead and crawl your fingertips over to the right side of your mat. Tent your fingertips, so lift your palms. Gently pull your right hip backwards. Find some length in the left side body. Take a nice deep breath in through the left side of the rib cage. And breathe it out. And crawl the fingers back to center and over to the opposite side. Creating some length through the right side. Gently pulling the right hip back. Elongating the spine. Deep inhale here. And exhale. And we'll slide the fingers back to center. Rock the upper body forward, coming into a little tabletop position. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Shoulders are stacking over the wrists. Hips are above the knees. Really lifting through the chest and the arms. So not collapsing through the chest, but really engaging the core. Gently pulling the navel up to the spine. And from here, inhale, go ahead and shift your upper body towards the top left corner of your mat, and then shift it over to the right corner of your mat. And then exhale, drop your right hip back to your right heel, and the left hip over to the left heel. So we'll start some big circles going clockwise. Inhale to shift forward, and exhale to drop the hips back. Really start to feel inside your body. Make any adjustments to these movements based on how you feel. You might even add in a little moving cat-cow with this movement that we're doing. Anything that feels good. And we'll change directions, going the opposite way. And then we'll come back to center after you finish your last breath there. From here, go ahead and spin your fingertips so that your hands face back towards your knees. And then just start to sit the hips back to the heels until you feel a stretch in your wrists. And then maybe start to pedal out into the hands. Again, whatever feels comfortable in your body, whatever feels right. Keeping in mind that we come to our mats to have an experience inside of our body. And we all have different bodies. We all have different places of tightness and tension. So what feels good in your body might feel a little different from what I need in my body. So always being the guide of your own practice. And I'm just here to give you some recommendations for what might feel good. Right, from here we'll spin the hands back to face the top of our mat, slide the hands forward, and we'll take our first downward dog of the day. So maybe pedal the feet out here, maybe rock the hips side to side. I personally like to gently bounce my chest up and down, increasing the stretch in my middle back, opening up the spine a little bit. So play around here. And we'll meet in a place of stillness in downward dog. Work to ground your heels down into the mat, maybe even lifting the toes off of the ground for a moment to really feel the weight shift back. Anchor through your thumbs and your pointer fingers. Squeeze your armpits together. So really feeling this activation through all the different parts of the body here. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Gaze to the top of your mat and step your feet all the way forwards. From here, we'll come into a ragdoll pose. Opposite hand comes to grab opposite elbow. Little bend in the knees. Maybe be in stillness, or maybe add in some movement. Soften the back of your neck. With your next exhale, release your hands. Plant your right hand in the middle of your feet. Now, if you have a block at home, you can always bring your hand to a block, but you don't need one here. Straighten your left leg. Take a little bend in your right knee. Inhale, reach your left arm up and open, coming into a twist. Revolve the top shoulder open. Try and keep length in your neck. So we're not crunching the left side of the neck, but we're keeping length through the crown of the head as you gaze up. Take a deep inhale and a deep extended exhale as you lower the left hand down. And we'll switch. The left hand plants in the middle of the feet. Right leg is straight, little bit of a bend in the left knee. Inhale, open the right arm up to the sky. And again, spiraling open through the right side, opening the right hip, and trying to find length through the back of the neck. One more deep breath in. Exhale to return the right hand back down to the ground. Alrighty, inhale, let's move into our first halfway lift. Fingertips can stay on the ground or palms can press into the ankles as you lengthen the spine forwards. And as you exhale, drop the head, fold forward, relax the neck. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, slowly rise all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Press the palms together. As you exhale, lower the hands down to heart center. Inhale, lift your sternum up towards your thumbs. Exhale, pull the navel back to the spine. And we'll go through our sun salutations here. All right, friends, inhale, extend the arms up, kiss the palms overhead. And as you exhale, forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, extend through the back, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the palms, step back into a plank position. And we'll hold here. So I'm pulling my navel up towards my spine, feeling my core start to activate here. I'm mindful of the arms. I'm trying to really lift through the arms as much as I can. And take a deep inhale. And with the exhale, we'll move all the way onto the belly. So your choice how you get there. You can keep the knees lifted or lower them down as we lower the chest. All right, inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Press through the tops of your feet. Peel your chest open, length through the back of the neck. And as you exhale, lower the chest back down. Inhale, press up onto the hands and knees, tabletop position. Exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. Pause here, 3 rounds of breath. Really feeling the air as it comes in with each inhale. And feeling the air as it leaves with each exhale. One more breath. And gaze between your hands, lift your heels, step or hop your feet forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine, stretch through the head. Exhale, forward fold, relax the arms. Inhale, press actively through the legs as you extend up mountain pose. Exhale, fold all the way down to the ground. Flowing with the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into your high plank, and this time we'll move right into our chaturanga low plank. So knees can be on the ground or lifted here. Inhale, upward dog. Knees can stay on the mat or you can lift them if that feels okay. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Pause, 2 breaths. One more breath. And again, gaze forward, step or hop the feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise up, extend the fingers up, press the palms. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant flat, step or jump back into your low plank position. Inhale, upward dog. Firm your thighs, squeeze your glutes, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Let's take one breath here. At the bottom of your exhale, gaze forward. Keep your arms as straight as you can. If you're going to jump, of course, always option to step forwards. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Alrighty, bring your big toes together, top of your mat. Drop your hips down to your heels, extend the arms up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Gaze down to your toes. Lift all of your toes off of the mat. Feel the weight shift back towards your heels. And then go ahead and drop the toes back down, but see if you can keep the weight towards the heels here. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Last long, deep breath in. And exhale out, straighten the legs, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. We're going to step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling, coming into a little twist. Again, maybe gaze up towards the top hand, but remember, try and keep length in the back of the neck. Spiral open through the top shoulder. For 3, find ease here. 2, good, and 1. Lower the right hand down to the ground. Plant your back foot flat on the mat. Inhale, rise all the way up, coming into warrior 2. Arriving here, right knee stacks over the ankle. My hips are right in the middle of my feet. Arms are reaching actively. So this is a really active pose. We're engaging the muscles, active body, but try and bring some ease into it as well. Notice where you can soften. Maybe the face, Maybe even just softening the abdomen with each breath. Good. From here, straighten your front leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Reach the right arm back. Keep reaching back. Lengthen the right side body. Good. Slowly bring the arms back into warrior two. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, dive down, triangle pose. So right hand can grab the ankle. If you've got a block, you can bring your right fingertips to a block. Or eventually, if you have the flexibility option, to grab the right big toe with the peace fingers. But we don't want to collapse through the upper body. So make sure wherever you grab with the hand, you're able to keep length through the crown of the head and the spine. Keep stretching up through the top arm. Create space in the right side body. For 3, find your breath. Find stillness. For 2. And 1. Bend into your front knee. We're going to keep reaching the left arm up. Slide your right hand forwards. And then slowly, with control, lift your back leg. Half moon pose. Ardha Chandrasana. And again, if you have a block, you can bring your right hand to a block, but it's not necessary. Once you find your balance, work to spiral open through the top shoulder. Work to stack your left hip on top of your right hip the best that you can. So the body is in one thin line like a piece of toast. That's a weird analogy. I don't know where I came up with that one. Hold here for 3, 2, 1 more deep breath. Good. And with your exhale, listen close. We'll bend into the right knee and we'll land the left foot all the way to the back of the mat, just how the feet were in Warrior 2. From here, lower the left hand down and we'll crawl the left or both of the fingertips towards the left side of the mat, and then we'll pivot both feet to face the left side of the mat. We're in this wide-legged position. From here, plant your palms shoulder width distance on your mat in between your feet. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the chest, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, fold here, gently, slowly drop the head down. Try and engage the legs by lifting the kneecaps gently. Tailbone is lifting up towards the ceiling. You can work to maybe crawl the hands a little bit backwards. Eventually, the crown of the head might touch down, but that's not the goal. The goal is to just be happy with where we are and find our mindfulness in each pose. With your next inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, crawl the hands back towards the top of your mat. Your choice here, either take a big step back straight into downward dog or step back into your chaturanga. And with your breath, inhale into upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Pause here. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, step the left foot between the hands. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, reach the left arm up and open, coming into our twist. Try and lift through your back knee. Spiral open. As much as you're reaching up with your left fingertips, see if you can soften the left shoulder. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly start to lower the left hand down. Plant the back foot flat on the mat. Inhale, ride the breath up into warrior number 2. So stacking the right knee over the ankle. And then again, pelvis is in the middle of the feet, anchoring the pinky toe of the back foot into the mat, nice and firmly. And then once you've found, a couple different parts of the body, once you've adjusted them, then find stillness. Be content. Find the breath. From here, straighten the left leg. Press down through the big toe of your front foot. Keep it pressing down as you reverse your warrior with an inhale. And as you exhale, relax. Go a bit deeper. Inhale in. And exhale out. Keep the front leg straight. Bring the arms back to that warrior 2 shape. And then from here, triangle pose, left arm drops down, right arm reaches up. Trikonasana. So again, my friends, remember, most important thing here isn't to bring the left hand to the ground or to the big toe, but it's to keep length through the back as we extend the right arm up towards the ceiling. Trying to open through the right side of the rib cage just a tad bit here. And breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Keep reaching the right arm up, bend into the left knee. Slide the left hand towards the top left corner of your mat. And with a strong left leg, lift your right leg. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Find the stability in the left foot and the left leg. Use the strength of your core to support your torso as you're spiraling open through the arm and kicking back through the leg. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly, gracefully, as slowly as you can, bend into the left knee. Step the lifted foot all the way back. Great job. From here, we'll crawl the fingertips over to the right side of the mat. I am going to face the camera. And this time, go ahead and interlace your fingertips behind your back. Inhale, straighten the arms, roll the shoulders upwards. And as you exhale, drop the head downwards. Really use the legs, the strength of your legs here to support yourself. Take one more breath. Good. Release your bind. Bring the hands back down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, crawl the hands forward. And again, your choice. Step straight back or take a vinyasa. And we'll meet each other back in downward dog. Awesome job so far. Gaze between the hands, lift the heels, step or float to the top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands pull to heart. All right, let's take a tree pose on the right side. So we'll lift the right foot off of the mat. Right foot can come to the left calf, right above the ankle, or to the left inner thigh. Lock your eye gaze in front of you. It can be a point on the ground or a point in front of you on the wall. Any hand variation, find your expression here. Take one more round of breath. Good, so we're gonna keep the right foot lifted, but go ahead and release the right foot. So right knee is lifted in front of the body. From here, bring your left hand on top of your right knee, and then slowly start to reach your right arm back behind you towards the back of your mat. So you might lose your balance, and that's perfectly fine. Just come right back into it if you fall. If you're steady, option to gaze backwards. If you want to go a little further, you can bring your left hand to grab the outer right side of your right foot and then extend the leg in front of you. Wherever you are, be there for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back to center. Lower the right foot down. Great job. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And we'll move into the left side, starting with our tree pose here. Finding your drishti, your focal point. Finding openness in the body with the breath. And from here, we'll release the left foot from the right leg. Right hand comes on top of the left knee. Left arm is going to reach towards the back of the mat. Again, eye gaze can be forwards. It's going to be a little more challenging if you bring it backwards. Use the strength of your right leg. Stay here with the hand on the knee, or bring the right hand to the left foot and maybe extend the leg forwards. And if you extend the leg, it doesn't have to be all the way straight. It might just be halfway straight. That's okay. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come back and release the foot down. Great job, friends. Inhale, breathe in some oxygen. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, sweep the arms up, mountain pose. Maybe take a little back bend here, hips press forward, arms pull back. And with your exhale, release down to the ground. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the palms, and I'll meet you back in downward facing dog. Take a moment here, reconnect with your body and your breath. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, wave to a high plank position. Lower the knees to the mat, and let's come to a seated position on the mat. So once you're there, we'll lift the legs. Knees can be together here. Reach the arms forward, Navasana boat pose. So remember, you can always keep the hands on the backs of the knees if you feel like you could use some extra support, or if you want to challenge it, you can straighten the legs. Hold here. So we're in this, it's kind of like a V position. So really lifting the legs, lifting the chest. And then slowly, using your strong core, start to lower into low boat position. Heels hover, head hovers. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, crunch all the way back up, high boat. Good. Find some ease. I know this is a pretty taxing pose. It's pretty active, but relax the mind. Use the breath. Good. Slowly lower back down. Low boat. Hold here. Anchor the low back down. Last time, inhale back up. Nice and mindful movement. And then last time, slowly start to lower back down. Okay, last time, inhale back up just for a moment. Okay, and exhale. We're done. Great job. From here, come onto your knees. So we'll bring the knees about hips width distance on our mats. We're anchoring through the tops of the feet. Toes are untucked. From here, bring your hands to your lower back. Thumbs are pointing towards the sides of the body. Other 8 fingers are pointing towards the spine. Gently start to round through the back, moving into our camel pose, Ustrasana. And see if you can activate the glutes a little bit here. So kind of squeezing the glutes to help support the low back as we move into our back bend. Head can drop back. You can stay here or bring the hands down to the heels. You can even play with bringing the hands to the ankles. Try to lift the chest up to create a bend, not just in the low back, but also the mid back and the upper back. And then whenever you're ready to start to come out, if the hands are on the heels, we'll bring them back to the low back as we make our way back up. From here, bring the knees together on the mat. Bring the feet a little bit wider than your hips. And we're going to sit the hips back between the heels. Now, if this feels uncomfortable in your knees, then you can just come into either a toe pose, so toes are tucked, sitting back on the heels, great toe stretch, or you can bring a block underneath your butt and just sit onto the block, or a fat book, whatever you have at home. Otherwise, we'll come into the standard version of hero pose. You can stay here, or if you'd like to come deeper, you can bring the hands onto the heels and then elbows lower. Before you go deeper in any pose, take a moment to be in touch with how your body feels. Oftentimes we see an asana, we see somebody else doing an amazing asana, and we want to replicate it inside of our bodies. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we always want to be in touch with how it feels inside of our bodies. That's the most important thing. If you've been in the full version of hero, if that's in your practice, your choice. You can lower onto your back and interlace the elbows overhead. Be happy with wherever you are. Find the breath. See where you can release a little bit of tension in the body. Maybe the legs or the abs or the shoulders, maybe even the face. If you're in the reclined version, we'll slowly start to make our way back up. There's no easy way out of that pose. Take your time. We'll come to a seated position with the legs straight out in front of us. Big toes are together. I'm anchoring the backs of my knees down into the mat. So a lot of the times in these forward folds, we think of them as being very passive, but actually we do want to engage the legs as we lengthen the spine. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, find length in the back as you fold forward, dropping the head down. Inhale, again, find length in the back. And then exhale, fold. So when we press through the knees, we're activating our quads, which are the big muscles on the top of our legs, in the front of our body, but the backs of our legs are still relatively relaxed, which is why we're able to activate, but still at the same time stretch the backs of the legs. 2 deep breaths. And 1 more deep breath in and out. And with your next inhale, slowly rise back up. Head is the last thing to stack on top of the heart and on top of the pelvis. And then from here, reach your arms forwards. And last little bit of core activation here as we slowly lower down like you're moving in slow motion. The tailbone touches the lumbar spine, the low back touches, the thoracic spine touches the mid back, and then eventually cervical spine and the head come in contact with the earth once again. Hang out here for a moment, take a deep breath in, and a joyful breath out. Hug the knees into the chest, and just take a moment to rock side to side here. And from here, we'll cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh, right below the left knee. Interlace your fingertips, bring your palms to grab the back of your left knee. We're in our figure 4 stretch, or our reclined pigeon pose. Some people like to flex the right foot in this pose, so maybe play with that, see how it feels in your body. You might keep your left knee bent, or you might straighten the left knee. Either is perfectly fine here. Breathe in a little bit of relaxation, and breathe out a little bit of surrender. Take 2 more rounds of breath. One more breath. And then we'll unravel, and switch legs. Left ankle crosses over. And you might notice right away that this side feels a little bit different than your other side. So it might be a little tighter, or it might be a little bit more flexible, and that's perfectly normal. But just use that awareness as a guide for how deep you bring yourself into this pose. So just a little bit of a pull with the hands might be all you need to feel plenty of a stretch on this side, or you might have to pull a little bit more than the other side. Last breath here. And then we'll slide the left ankle out from that stretch and hug both knees into the chest here. Give yourself a little hug for a moment, rock side to side, massage the sacrum and the low back on the mat. And then from here, we'll extend the left leg towards the top of the mat, and the heel will lower all the way down. With your left hand, guide your right knee open to the left side of your body. Extend your right arm open to the right side. Gaze towards your right fingertips, coming into a supine twist. And just allowing gravity to sink the right knee closer to the earth with each exhalation. One more breath. And then starting to arrive back to center. And we'll switch our legs. Left knee hugs in, right leg extends forward. We'll open the left knee to the right side As the left arm opens towards the opposite side. Letting your exhalations bring a little more relaxation through your whole body. And slowly twisting back to center. Hug both of your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. We'll keep the head on the mat for this moment. Go ahead and flex your feet. So pull the toes back towards your knees and then point the toes, stretch down towards the ground. And just do that a couple times. And then see if you can hug in a little bit tighter here. So relax the ankles and just focus on squeezing the thighs towards the rib cage. And then at last, hug the head up towards the knees, curling as tightly as you can into this tight, compact position. All the muscles are energized and engaged. The body is active, really giving all your effort here. Take a deep inhalation, squeeze in a tad bit tighter if possible. And exhale out your mouth. And this time release. Extend the legs forward towards the corners of your mat. Open your palms towards the ceiling and the sky. Find complete relaxation inside your body. Either soften the gaze or close the eyes. Find total stillness inside the framework of your body. And just letting everything start to settle back down here. The Savasana is the time to reap all the benefits of the practice on an energetic level. We're allowing all the muscles to kind of release and become rejuvenated. Allowing the mind to drift off into a place of stillness and quietness. And maybe it's not completely quiet at home. I know I hear some banging and clunking, a little construction in the background here, and that's okay. Just see if you can fall behind what's happening around you. And just being completely content with everything that's happening in this moment. Please stay here as long as your day permits you to. Otherwise, we'll start to close our practice together, pressing the palms together. We'll bring the thumbs to the forehead. And friends, thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. With so much gratitude, namaste.